This video has been prepared by FSU College of Law students under the supervision of licensed attorneys. It is intended to provide legal education only. The students are not attorneys, and the information provided does not constitute legal advice. We hope this information is helpful.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Darby Kerrigan Scott. I'm the professor and director of the COVID-19 COVID-19 Veterans Legal Clinic. I am honored to be having you all join us today for our final installment of our webinar series. I would like to also welcome my co-instructor to introduce herself and the students who have worked hard to prepare this webinar today.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamie Braun, and I am co-teaching the COVID-19 Veterans Legal Clinic at FSU College of Law this semester. And I'm going to turn it over to two of our students who are going to talk a little bit about unemployment benefits in Florida and changes that have come about due to the pandemic.
Thank you, Professor Scott and Professor Braun and everyone who logged in. My name is Tim Willis, and my partner Caroline Nelson and I are FSU law students participating in the COVID-19 Veterans Legal Clinic. We're here to talk about unemployment benefits and changes resulted from COVID-19. And so just briefly, I wanted to go over the roadmap of what we're going to talk about today. First, we're going to address what is reemployment assistance, or more commonly known as unemployment. We're going to talk about changes to unemployment due to COVID-19. We're going to answer the questions of, do I qualify for unemployment? How do I file for unemployment? When will I receive my benefits? And then lastly, we're going to address what happens if I do not qualify, but I still need assistance. And so before we get into the weeds of unemployment, I'll most likely sound like a broken record during this presentation. And regardless of what you've heard over the last several months from Congress, maybe our state legislature, the governor, even the president, the theme throughout this presentation is apply, apply, apply. If you think you might have a claim of financial loss, go apply. Let the system tell you that you do not, you don't qualify for benefits. Okay, so first we'll just talk briefly, what is reemployment assistance? And we put the traditional definition of temporary wage replacement, and you lost your job through no fault of your own. And the typical state unemployment was $275 a week. And because of the CARES Act and because of COVID-19, federal funding has become available to help those who are unemployed. Now, we'll talk briefly changes to unemployment due to COVID. Governor DeSantis has suspended through December 5th of 2020 the work registration, the work search, and the waiting week requirement. The work registration requirement, you had to go onto a system and register with Florida Employ. That's, again, on hold till December 5th. The work search requirement, you had to actively keep a search log of the jobs you were looking for. You had to maintain this search log, and that's been put on hold. There used to be a waiting week. After you qualified for benefits, you had to wait a week to receive your pay, and the system's been streamlined so that that waiting week is no longer in effect until December 5th. And one of the most important changes because of the CARES Act and other things like pandemic unemployment assistance and lost wages assistance programs is your claim may be backdated. It may be retroactive. So again, a broken record, apply, apply, apply if you think you had a financial loss due to COVID. So do I qualify for unemployment? And we put up on the slide here a list of reasons, whether you could qualify. I just wanted to draw everyone's attention to the last bullet, which is gig workers, self-employed, contract employees. This group also includes temporary work layoffs. You know, if you're a roofer and maybe you're not needed next week because, I don't know, the business was affected because of COVID-19. Maybe you're working at a restaurant and you have reduced hours because the restaurant was at 50% capacity. Let's say that you're event based work. You know, we got the World Series going on right now, and they're only allowing 11,000 people in the stadium. Well, all those cotton candy and Cracker Jack vendors, most of them aren't going to be working because the stadium's not at capacity. They may have a claim. And one interesting point is, let's say you're taking care of children who are at home from school. That might qualify you under the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance and the CARES Act. Some additional qualifications. And at the time you apply, you must be able to work, available to work, and actively seeking work. Those have not changed since the old unemployment. And you must be physically able to perform the job. And so up on the screen, we have a list of reasons you may be unable to receive benefits. We all are familiar with, you know, if you were discharged for a dishonest act or maybe some form of misconduct would make you ineligible. But even though we show these bullet points here of all the ineligible things, I don't want you to be deterred from applying if you think you have a claim. And we just wanted to put up here the list again of some of the ways that you would be unable to receive. But again, a broken record. Let that application process tell you that you do not qualify if you suffered a job loss or a financial impact due to COVID. And your continued eligibility, it may be impacted if you're still working or are partially employed and earning more than your weekly or state or federal benefit amount. Again, Governor DeSantis waived two requirements, the work search requirement and the work registration requirement. And we just wanted to point out on this slide that unemployment right now, the laws are very dynamic with the CARES Act and the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, Lost Wages Assistance. So again, the broken record, go apply. And so I've been saying apply, apply, apply. And here we just wanted to put the link to the website. And as a separate option, you can mail in your unemployment application, although the link is the preferred method. And I'm going to hand it over to my partner, Caroline, who's going to discuss the application.
Hi, I'm Caroline, and I'm going to take y'all through the actual application process and then what happens after you apply. So we have on the slides here the actual paper form of the application because the website is not the most user-friendly, so it's better to have all of your information gathered before you start. So this first page is just kind of looking at the basic information that you need, such as your name, social security number, and address. And then the next couple of pages of the application, they're going into your work history. So you're going to need your work history for your most recent employment, but also they're going to want some prior to that as well. And how far back you have to go is just kind of going to depend on your application. So there's also some standard waiver forms, more asking about your past employment. They're going to ask about your veteran service. They're going to ask about whether you've had any federal civilian service. They're going to ask you about your taxes and all those things. And you just need to have all those prepared for you when you go into the actual application. So next, we're going to talk about checking the status of your application. So if you have a paper application, they're going to send you an email or possibly mail to you, but most likely email you a PIN number and access to your online account. The online application, it's going to go to your email, and you're going to do this through the Connect system. So what is the Connect system? So this is where you're going to view all of your claim information. This is where you're going to update your information any time of the day. This is going to choose the way that you receive notifications. So that's by email or the US Postal Service. This is going to be how you establish or cancel payments by the Way to Go debit card. This is going to how you create or change your PIN number. Do not use any part of your social security number when creating your PIN number. It will not allow you to do that. And then this is where you get your claim and payment information, request benefits, and print tax forms. So when and how much money will I receive? So unemployment claim may be backdated to the first time you attempted to file your application. So that means if you attempted to file it last Monday and the website was down and you had to wait till Wednesday, it can be backdated till Monday. But that's not backdating it to the last day that you were employed. So for any Way to Go debit card questions, there's the phone number. So your max benefits is going to be $275 weekly with a total of $3,300. You must request these benefits every week through Connect, and the Department of Economic Opportunity highly recommends that you set up a direct deposit. There is also FEMA grant funding, and this allows you to get an additional $300 per week, and that you will just also have to go in and apply for. So reemployment assistance is taxed. You will owe taxes on this, and when you fill out your application, you can elect to withhold 10% of your weekly benefits that are due to the IRS. So what happens if I do not qualify for unemployment? You can request an appeal within 20 calendar days after the distributed date of the determination. To do that, you're going to visit floridajobs.org. You're going to download a notice of appeal form, and you're going to select one of the options to submit your request, email, mail, or fax. And during this process, you are allowed to have an attorney represent you. So for any inquiries regarding scams, identity theft, mistakes, editing claims, general questions, obtaining forms, password, PIN reset, fraud, you're going to want to call 1-833-FL-APPLY. And they're available Mondays through Fridays, 7:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So when does your claim end? Your claim expires after 365 days, or the Florida benefits last 12 weeks and the CARES Act benefits last 13 weeks. So it's whichever one comes first. That's when your claim expires. So you got hired. Now what? You can request benefits up until the week you start working. If the week you request your benefits and job start date overlap, you need to indicate how much money you earn during that time through Connect. If you work full-time or earn over $275, then you do not need to request benefits. So once again, you should apply on connectmyflorida.com and let Florida tell you if you qualify or not for reemployment assistance. If you need help in this area, then we recommend that you contact the COVID-19 Veterans Legal Clinic. Our information is up on the slide right here. So thank you for your service. And then do we have any questions?
Thank you, Tim and Caroline, and thank you everybody for joining us today.
The Public Interest Law Center provides limited legal services, but if you would like to have your legal issue considered, please email us at pilc@law.fsu.edu.